Hey, it's Rob. Welcome to Axel's Garage. Today we have a tool review for you, and like many of you, whether you're working on cars, working around the house, working on firearms and accessories and stuff, you always, you saw a tool and you said, I could get by without that tool, and I could do it without that, and I'm going to use a drill as a grinder and a pick as a punch and all kinds of different things. And as you get older, you realize that buying the specific tools makes the job a lot easier to do. And what we did was we were doing some work on Glock firearms, and we came across this tool right here, and it's the VISM G5 Plus Glock Pocket Tool, it's called. I don't know if I would stick it in my pocket, but it's a pretty interesting tool. What it has is a punch, which is the right size for Glock firearms, so that you could push your pins through or tap your pins through. It's got a magazine removal tool on it, and it's also got a 3/16 Thin-Wall Hex Nut that's magnetic, and that's for removing the front sight. And those of you that have tried to remove the front sight with other 3/16 tools know that it's a little tough, because you really need a thin wall tool in there. It also acts as a third hand for when you're doing any work with your striker, whether you're replacing a striker or taking the spring on and off your striker. It's got a little slot in it where you could set the striker in, and it acts like a third hand. Really, really handy tool, and I'll zoom in and show you what it's all about. There's a link to this tool in the description below. You can buy it on Amazon. It comes in like 2 days. When you're not in the zombie apocalypse, it comes in 2 days. I think, some of the normal Amazon shipping stuff right now, April 4th, 2020, everybody knows what's going on with the zombie apocalypse. I think it's probably going to take like a week or two to get. I know some of the stuff we've ordered on Amazon has been delayed. Normal shit that would get there like 2 days later is taking a week to 2 weeks. So here is our insert that came with the tool. It was in a blister pack. It is the G5 Plus Glock Pocket Tool. The number is VTGLK5. Victor Thomas George Larry King 5. And that's the number. I will link it in the description below. But here's the tool as it comes in the package. You can see it's got the punch, which is the appropriate size for all your pins on your Glock firearms, and it also has, when you click this forward, this is what you would use for your magazine base plate removal, right? Can you use a punch and force it with your thumb? Yeah, you can. Does it work so much easier with this tool? Absolutely it does. And that folds back up and out of the way. I don't know if this hook here is for something else. I really haven't figured that out yet. But this little center section here, when you flip it over, is where you would slide the bottom of your striker in, and the little tab on the striker fits right in here. And when you put it down, slide the striker in, it holds it in place so that you can remove the spring, add a different spring, or change your striker and put the original spring back on. Of course, the dogs have to start fighting because I tried to start talking. So it also has, and with a little release here, it's got the wrench, and this wrench here is a 3/16 hex, and that's for your front sight. It's a thin wall, so it's going to fit in there and work perfectly for your front sight, and it's also magnetic. And the nice thing about the magnet is getting that little itty bitty screw up and in there and started. You don't have to worry about it falling off. The only negative I've heard about this tool, it feels like a cast piece. It's got some weight to it, so you probably wouldn't have to tap it with a hammer, because it does have some weight to it. If you got a pin that you got to tap a little bit, but if you had to, it's got a nice flat section on top that you could tap with a little hammer to get those pins through. The only negative I heard was that this thing, if you don't use it as a punch and you try to pry with it a little bit or over hammer it, that this may have a tendency to bend. But if you use it appropriately, you shouldn't bend this piece here, and even if you get a little wobble in it, it might not be too bad. But we're going to use this in an upcoming video that we're doing on Glock magazines, and I just thought this was a real neat tool I think I paid somewhere in the line of $12 to $15 for it. As you know, during the zombie apocalypse, that prices are changing, especially for things in this field. And right now, as of today, it's on Amazon for $18.99, and I'll put a link to it in the description below. But I think that that the price will go down in the coming months, but it might go up in the immediate short term, just because things in this industry seem to be going up because of an increase in demand and a decrease in supply. All right, so there you have it. It's the VISM, VISM G5 Plus Glock Pocket Tool. It's sold on Amazon. It ships and is sold by Amazon.com, so it's one of those items that you should get relatively quickly when you order it. I like it. You probably should have bought one years ago for some tinkering, and we're going to use this in our next Glock video where we are going to disassemble some magazines, and we're going to use this tool to disassemble the magazines. And I just thought I would just do a little separate video about the tool, because a lot of people shy away from buying little tools like this because they feel they can get away without using them, and you can, but it makes the job so much easier, and you know, having something like this is just makes everything a lot easier. Guys, always, they will always do this as soon as I turn the video camera on. They know, and they're going a little stir crazy in the house, but they know. That's it today from Axel's Garage. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you on the next one.